Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new to my channel, welcome. My name is Katlego. If you're a returning subscriber, welcome back to another video. Today I'm doing episode 2. I know it's late, it's like a year late. Episode 2 of this series that I started last year called If I Knew Then, basically to help students just get an insight into other students who are doing what you are doing, in case you don't have people close to you that are doing the same thing as you, and just get a feel of their experiences in this field and so on and so forth. Today I am joined by a very special guest.
Thank you.
Katlego.
Yes.
I'm going to address you as Katlego.
No problem.
It's not about me, so don't think of me as Katlego, think of me as the host.
I am the Katlego you should be focusing on.
Exactly. So just introduce yourself to my subscribers.
Okay.
Tell them, what do you do? Where do you study? If it's not obvious. Which field of study? It's environmental sciences, obviously, but which specific field within environmental sciences?
Alright, hi guys. As Katlego said, I am Katlego. I am currently a first year master's student at the School of Apes in Wits. I am doing, I'm in the environmental sciences field, specifically focusing in medicinal plant studies in relation to climate change. Yeah, that's, I think.
Okay.
That's what I can say.
Environmental sciences, specifically medicinal plants,
Yes.
and climate change.
And climate change.
Medicinal plants. So just because I don't even know if you guys know what I'm doing, but story for another day. Maybe I'll do a Q&A. You can ask me what I'm doing. Maybe I'm also confused, I don't know. But he's a first year MSc student, master's student in the School of Apes. If you don't remember, if you haven't watched the previous video, Apes is in animal, plant and environmental sciences. It's basically the environmental sciences department at WITS.
Yes.
Cool. So you're a master's student. How does it feel?
In the beginning, it was a bit daunting. Like, if I'm being honest with you,
Yeah.
I was somewhat excited that okay, yes, I'm doing masters finally. But then I thought about the workload, and then I was like, nah.
Is it funny how when I got into masters, I was not thinking about the workload at all.
Yeah.
I was thinking about, I don't have tests, I don't have assignments, I don't have exams. Oh my gosh, best thing. Also, you are sold this dream of you're going to do a master's. I mean, maybe not now because of the pandemic.
Yeah.
You're going to do a master's. You have so much free time. You can do whatever you want. You can go to Europe if you wanted, if you had the money.
Okay.
So I was sold the dream of you will be living the life. Nobody told me about the workload. They just told me it's nice. So how has it been so far?
Well, so far it's been very hectic. I don't have personal time for anything since my lab work literally consumes most of my time.
Yeah.
I literally do not have time to do anything. I'm in the lab at least 8-9 hours a day.
Yeah.
And then after that, when I get to my room, it's like, okay, I have to go through literature and do all of those things. So there's basically no free time for anything, really.
So I think it's a good thing maybe that you started doing your masters now, because last year was a mess. The whole year I was supposed to have been doing field work, nothing. I was locked in. So I think, like, as much as you're spending like 7 to 8 hours a day in the lab, the fact that you're getting work done in your first year means you'll have an easier time in your second year.
Definitely.
Unlike me, who cramped fieldwork and writing in this year, and I have to submit very soon. But anyway, tell me about your undergrad, your journey. Did you always know you wanted to do environmental sciences? How did you fall into it? Was it your first love?
It wasn't. I feel like for a lot of students who study or start with their PhD degrees, they normally intend to complete and then do medicine afterwards. It's like usually that's a go-to career choice.
As well.
Yes. So I've always wanted to do medicine for the longest time I know. And then once I transferred from UP to here, I was like, okay, this looks interesting. Let me see how far I can take with this field that I'm starting to get a feel of it.
Okay.
And then eventually I settled.
So what exactly did you study at UP?
I did a BSc in life sciences. I majored in, what did I major in? zoology, biochemistry, and human physiology.
The fact that it has zoology, it was kind of like nudging you.
It was
and then you decided to come to Wits for your honors.
Yes.
What drove that decision?
Well, okay, firstly, I'm closer to home. So, this was, okay.
Like, priorities.
Priorities, yes. But now I'm starting to rethink that decision. I don't think it was the best. But, yeah, it's... And also, I've always wanted to come to Wits anyway, so now that I'm here...
Is it funny how I didn't really know where exactly I wanted to go? I've told this in one of my videos. The reason I ended up at Wits was because of money. I got funding to do a BSc. I was like, okay. So I did a BSc. Like, don't judge me, guys. Yeah. Some of us are driven by money, and then we end up falling in love with the thing that we're doing. Yeah. So how do you feel about what you're doing now?
I am very excited.
Really?
Literally, I was, because during my honors, it was kind of like an introduction to the field. It's interesting. I mean, working with medicinal plants, who would have thought it would, entail so much information, not just on, the knowledge from your traditional healers and whatnot, but it involves an element of chemistry and medical sciences. So it's kind of something that, if I were to put it this way, it's like doing medicine but not really, so it kind of meets it halfway. So that's kind of the element that I enjoy about the
and the fact that we always throw a dash of climate change in there.
There you go.
Everybody throws a dash of climate change in there.
It's unavoidable.
Like, sometimes you have no business throwing climate change in, and you just I sprinkled it in as well. I mean, it's the in thing. If you're not doing climate, what are you doing?
Exactly.
So have there been any moments where you were like, I mean, you did say you were excited, but have there been moments where you're like up at night, like, oh my gosh, what did I count?
Yeah, that happens to me at least 4 times a week.
You're not alone though.
Yeah, no. It's usually like, okay, now that I'm doing this, why? Like, there's so much to do, and then you start thinking negative things like, do I really want to do this? Do I want to continue with this?
Yeah.
But then eventually that thought passes by and you're okay again.
Speaking of that, have there been any challenges you came across? Let's bring it to environmental sciences specifically. Okay. Have there been any challenges you faced as an environmental sciences student, like within this area of study?
I would say so. Well, okay, in my particular field, with climate change being involved, it's always an issue having to sell that fact that, hey, climate change is real and it's doing damage to these important plants and whatnot. So having to sell that idea that climate change is a serious issue, it's a challenge. Like, you butt heads with a lot of people. So people tend to not really understand the idea of climate change and why is it so important. It's just climate change. To them, it's like,
pass. Those people are like, the earth has been through so many changes. This is just one of those changes.
That's not the case with climate change.
Exactly.
It's a topic that has to be continually discussed, because it's a real thing. It's unavoidable.
And then any highlights from your time as an environmental science student where you were like, yes?
Oh, okay, about that. I just recently published my first paper. So,
published author. I'm honored.
It's an honor.
I am honored. Girls. Do you know what an achievement it is to have your name on there and be like, I wrote that paper.
Exactly. Like, first author and all, like,
look at me nice.
It's a big deal.
Look at me nice.
Yes.
That's my
big deal. Yeah.
And then, I mean, you published your paper. Do you plan to publish more in the future? Or what specific goals do you have? I mean, you don't have to go into detail on your secrets. We want to know, but he has the choice of not giving us all of the juice. So.
That is right. But I actually do plan on publishing more papers. Because, the end goal for me
Yeah.
is to become an academic.
Oh, okay.
That is another decision that literally came out of the blue, but I've
This
been
year?
yes, literally this year. So my supervisors kind of guided me into that route, and I was like, oh, okay, well, this is interesting. So yeah, that's my goal.
Okay. So, I mean, you did say you want to go into academia.
Yeah.
Like I say, there are so many things you can do, and you can always change at some point.
Yeah.
What exactly draws you to academia specifically? Some people just want to go, like me, I want to go and work in industry. I don't think I can do academia. After doing an MSc for 2 years,
Yeah, I get you.
I
get you, yeah.
I'm scared of academia. So what draws you to academia?
Well, okay, firstly, I think it would be the flexibility.
Oh,
So
is it flexible?
well, that's what they say. That's what I'm being told. That's what I'm being told.
Okay, I mean, it's like being a teacher, you get all these school holidays. But considering that as an academic, you're a researcher and you have to
Yes.
produce research and you have to do your work and teach kids,
I know.
are there any lessons you think are important for somebody who maybe they're doing undergrad or maybe they're just starting out their postgraduate degree that they don't know? Because what I've found out is we only share the good. We
That's
only ever share the good.
Yeah.
So I always try to talk about the good and the bad. Like the video I'm posting today is like the best and worst things about studying environmental sciences. Like, let's not romanticize
Yes,
things.
yes, you're right.
There are good and
And
bad
they're bad.
sides to everything.
Yep.
So are there any lessons, in your opinion, lessons you've learned personally or which you've heard from other people that you think are very important for someone to know in this field?
Okay, one thing that I can stress about is when you're in the environmental sciences field, you have to literally know your stuff, right? So having half truths to everything, that's not going to cut it. You have to go all the way.
Yeah.
So for a person who wishes to, venture into the environmental sciences field, I would strongly recommend that you just know your stuff, like have enough information on the field, because people have this mentality that environmental sciences is like, okay, you go outside and observe the weather and that's
They just think plants and
It's just think
animals.
plants and- that's
They
it.
just run around
Photosynthesis, that's
chasing
all they
plants,
think.
chasing animals, chasing plants. We just run around chasing animals. We just out there
Yeah,
walking in
yeah.
the bush.
That's
and
literally not the case. Like, there's more into that than you
big
think.
brains, guys. Big brains.
Literally.
If you knew then what you know now, and after all the experiences you've been through, would you still choose the same path?
I would, but I would take a different approach to it. So recently I just said that I enjoy, medicine was my initial career field. So if I knew the information I know now then, I would still continue with this path, but I would take a different approach, maybe expand the research knowledge into the applied sciences, like your microbiology, your biochemistry, and all of that.
And not be limited
Yes,
to
not be
this
limited
very
to just
niche thing.
I would expand it.
But I mean, considering the fact that environmental sciences, it's a sciences, so it's multidisciplinary.
Yeah.
Even now, you can legit just pull up at the school of like MCB and be like, guys,
Exactly.
I want to take this course.
Yeah.
So you're always, I keep saying, you're always able to do whatever you want. At
That's
any
true.
moment you think, I want to supplement my knowledge with a little bit of physics. You can do that.
You can do that, yeah.
Nobody's gonna say, you make your own decision
Exactly.
and you make your own future.
Yeah.
So what would you say, what advice would you give to someone who's like, I'm in this field, maybe I'm regretting it, or I want to go into this field but I'm not sure because my family says this, society says this. So what advice would you give to someone who's in this field? They're struggling, they're not struggling, maybe they don't know where they're going.
One advice I would give is just don't limit yourself to just this one particular path in the field. Like you said, it's a multidisciplinary.
Yeah.
So you can expand it if you decide that, okay, maybe I want to venture into law. You can do environmental law. If you want to do your pharmacology and whatnot expand. Like there's more to environmental sciences than just the environmental aspect. Exactly.
Yeah.
So keep looking for other possible opportunities that you can join with environmental sciences, because it is possible.
And what I like about this field is, as you go through it and you find out all of these things within it, you get to see what interests do you have, which direction can you take. If you take a direction you're like, I made a wrong choice, you can always U-turn and choose something else. Thank you so much for coming onto my channel. It was great chatting to you. Loved it. I learned a lot. I also do these things for me, so I get to talk to people, because as much as we go to the same institutions or we might be in the same class, there's some conversations we don't have.
That's true.
Some conversations maybe we're just like, maybe it would be weird to talk about this, but like this is a platform where I can have such conversations with people that I see all the time but don't have those conversations with, and in the process help other people. Thank you so much for coming onto my channel.
It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure.
Thank you so much, guys, for watching. You can follow Katlego where?
Instagram at Malcolm_X Junior, JNR.
I will put the link in the description. And then Twitter. Do you have Twitter?
Twitter's another.
It's not your scene.
It is my scene, but
It does. Don't go on the Twitter streets. People are different on Twitter.
You don't want to see that part of me, trust.
That is so funny. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Please give this video a like, share it with anybody you think it might help. Comment down below, like any questions maybe you have for me or for Katlego. I will make sure they are answered. And until another video, bye.